Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Studio A again. The builders have managed to finish my terrace, reconfiguring it, making it more practical for the summer. This is Roger Mailing, your correspondent from The Sun. Hey, it's great to be back out here, where I'm in the private, away from the madding crowd. That was the week that was. What do I mean by that? Well, I've had a very, how can I put it? When we came out of here, nearly 9 months ago, we had a neighbour who was the life and soul of the party. He was full of life, full of health, really vibrant. And today, I took him to the hospital for the nth time. Yesterday, he was actually diagnosed with having stage 2 esophageal cancer. And we're trying to find out which is the best route for him in terms of A, his treatment, and B, his future survival. And it brought home to me how tenuous life is. You know, how, excuse me a minute, how tenuous life is and how difficult it is for people to appreciate that you only get one go round at this. I like to be buoyant about it, but I can't, because no one gets a second chance at life. In fact, no one gets a second chance at those few seconds where my phone's just told me my battery is low, which it shouldn't be, but it is, and put me off my stride a little bit. But that's called life. Now, I've always believed that I'd live forever, I suppose. You never really come to terms with the fact that life is finite. But I've really come to terms since John's illness to realise that life is finite, and you've got to do the very best you can to achieve whatever it is you set out to achieve when you started. Because none of us, very, very few of us, set out in life to say, when we were kids, we wanted to be astronauts, footballers, racing drivers, nuclear physics, whatever we wanted to do. But a lot of us end up dropping into the 40-40-40 conundrum. Now, what is the 40-40-40 rule? Well, it's you work 40 hours a week if you're lucky, for 40 years in your life, for 40 years with a company, if you're lucky. And most people now will have to work until they're in their 70s, so you can add probably another 5 or 10 years to that, to earn 40% of what you couldn't survive on when you had a job. Now, to me, that's wrong. You know, that's why I've always kicked against things. That's why I've always done things a little bit different to everybody else. Because you are worth whatever it is you're worth, the amount of effort you put in. And that's what I love about the industry that I'm involved in now. It's a bit like the Newton's third law of motion, in that action equals reaction. In other words, what you put in one end will be matched by what comes out the other. It may not be instantaneous, it may not be tomorrow, but it might be in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months from now. But the law states, and I truly believe it, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out. Now, that's the whole purpose of my doing these videos every day, is to try and impress upon you that your life is yours. You can make it as joyous, you can make it as miserable, you can make it as hard, you can make it as easy as you like. You know, it doesn't have to be the way it is if it's not nice. It doesn't have to be. You can continue to keep it joyous if that's what it is you're in now. See, everybody has a different driver. Mine is different to yours. You know, I used to think that money was my driver, and I've learned as I get later on in life that money is probably about 1/8 in the things that I actually want in my life. But I've always chased money. Now I chase something completely different. Now I chase helping other people achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. It sounds wonderful, it sounds magnanimous, but that's what it's all about. Now, I work in an industry, I work with a company where that is eminently possible. Like, if you want to know what I do, put a comment below and we'll have a chat. But the fact is, that isn't the purpose of my video here. My purpose of my video here is to try and pass on to you the experiences that have got me this far. Hopefully you'll find them interesting. Hopefully you'll find them enough to want to come back every day to see what I've got to say. Hopefully you'll want to share it with other people and say, look, this guy is worth listening to. Now, if that happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. because the outcome isn't my responsibility. My responsibility is to make these little chats as interesting as possible so that you may want to come back and learn more. So on a sad week for me, you know, that was the week that was, I found and was given information that affected my friend a damn sight more than it affected me, but it's affected me very, very seriously, because I now know that life is finite. I know that you've got to fight and make every day the best that it can possibly be. As you know, you can see it's a beautiful sunny day here where I live. This is Roger Mayling, your correspondent from The Sun. I'll see you tomorrow.